Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the TFR Motivation Monday Zoom live from Salt Lake City, Utah. Actually, Sandy, Utah, but we got corporate headquarters about less than 150 yards that way. So welcome. We are super excited to go over this amazing experience with some awesome leaders that were participating in this. But
yeah, so seriously,
this, right?
we are really excited to be here tonight. And by the way, guys, those of you that have made it a priority to be able to hop on here live, we know it's really hard, but prioritizing your business is what's going to put focus on it. What you put focus on grows, right? But if you happen to not be able to watch this live, or you want to go back and see it again because it's such great information, make sure that you subscribe to Team Freedom Reigns on YouTube and SoundCloud, because you can get notifications when we upload new content that you can add into your listening pleasures. All right, guys, let's go through these announcements really quickly. You guys all know Global Convention is in October. It's in Las Vegas, Nevada. You need to be pre-registering. It's $179 through the end of February. But the company has put a promo together that can actually help every single person that wants to participate. And it's all based off of the behaviors of building your business: selling product, rank advancing, and maintaining your rank, as well as helping those people you personally enroll to rank advance. So we're going to go through this really quickly here. Hey, Chelsea, welcome. Good to see you. All right, so 3 ways to earn points. You're going to sell products. All right, for every customer or distributor you bring in, depending on their volume of the products they purchase, you will get points towards this promotion. You're going to rank advance by selling those products and helping your team do the same. And as you rank advance, you're going to get points for that. And your sponsor also gets points. And then the third way is maintaining your rank. You get actually double points each month that you maintain that new rank.
That's important.
It's
That's
way important. So cool.
So is this free shipping thing, where, as Darren Jensen, our president and CEO, was talking about it, the Amazonification of the entrepreneur, free shipping. And it started on the 13th of January. There's a couple criteria. So anything, and start speaking domestically first, anything on subscription ships for free, and everywhere else, you have a benchmark. You have a certain amount of PV that you must reach to get that free shipping. But then once that's established, everything that comes after that, and also if you're on subscription, everything that ships that month, even spot orders, is free shipping. So this is something that began on the 13th and is international.
All right, guys. So one way the company is helping us is promoting these amazing new Tri-Synergizer packets. If you haven't seen them yet, they are amazing and very convenient and a bit sexy as well. Right. So any new person that you bring into the business, so new accounts that enrolls with the Tri-Synergizer stack, is also going to get a free sour cherry Axio. That's a value of $60.99 for free, all for taking advantage of this amazing 3 Protandim products in the Tri-Synergizer. Plus, anybody that you enroll on the Tri-Synergizer as a new account, you're going to get 5 points towards the road to convention. Which, by the way, guys, that's 5 times the normal amount that you would get for that same volume without this promotion. So take advantage of it, because this is one thing about this promo as well that we've never had before. You are not limited on the amount of points that you can earn through new personal enrollment. So go get crazy with this. Plus, you can purchase 2 of the new Tri-Synergizer cartons and get 30 miniature brochures to use in sharing this information with all the people that you love and care about, and even the people you don't know. Great promotional products.
Seriously. And we've got the regional tours of LifeVantage or Elite Academy. Let me explain. We've had between every 3 to 5 months, we've had an Elite Academy for a number of years, so that there's a pretty frequent cadence of corporate events. The problem is that they were regional. So the people that were close to the location, it was a pretty cool experience. They could even drive, but everyone else had to fly, and some people a long time. And so what they decided is to increase the frequency of events from 1 every 3 to 5 months to very regularly, and spread it out so that the company is literally coming to us rather than us going to them. In Canada, there's 3 locations, as you can see: Vancouver, Edmonton, and Toronto. Dates forthcoming. In Europe, there's 3 locations: Birmingham, England, Amsterdam, Netherlands, and Madrid, Spain. Dates forthcoming. And there's 9 locations in the United States. So this is the company's way of doubling down their commitment to us by they're going to go on the road coming to us so that it shortens our trip, but it also increases our frequency of availability to get together as a distributor workforce. This is huge.
Yeah,
so
smaller
put
events
these
too.
dates on your, once they're released, put them on your calendars and get to as many as you can and make it a priority. You will not regret it.
All right,
so
guys, we are so excited.
Is all why we're
Seriously,
here.
this is why we're here. And really, this is really why you're here, right? Is that the red carpet treatment, the red carpet experience is what we want to share with you tonight. LifeVantage has changed the way the world looks at being treated like a red carpet walker, okay? So we've been participating in this event for well over a year now, and we've had some great experiences. But it's been up-leveled in the past less than a week's time period. Being here last week with Kim and Chelsea with an amazing candidate that they brought in, and then today with Sarah and Cynthia with their amazing candidate in from Scotland. So we just wanted to share this opportunity and help each one of you understand that it's available to every single one of you. So we've invited 4 great leaders to share, their biggest takeaways, and also a tip on how you can start inviting your maybe chickenless people to attend these events. So.
Yeah, because this is a very, very big objective of the company. We actually got some statistics around this today from Taylor Worry and Jeff Pincock, who are the guys that at corporate that head up this. It's literally the new distributor experience is what this is all about. But and again, keep in mind that we're a publicly traded company. We have boards of directors that are looking at everywhere that a dollar is spent and determining, is it a dollar well spent, or is it something we need to cut back? Well, what we learned today is over 2018 to 2019 fiscal year, we grew $25 million as a company, and 20 million of that 25 million came from people that were participating in the red carpet program. So the board of directors and the corporate people are doubling down on this process. And we've heard 2 times, Marcy's been to 2 in the last few days. I've been to 1, but we've heard a collective from the participants who this is for. Basically, in a nutshell, I've never seen something so powerful and felt so well taken care of by a company ever.
Yes.
Like ever. And these are top-notch type people. So to hear that, we know that the program is effective and it's exactly hitting its mark, which is why we're prioritizing this so greatly. And we wanted you to hear from your field leaders who are bringing their people to this experience directly from their mouths, what this means to them and what it could mean for you too.
Yeah, so we're going to ask each one of these ladies to share their quick story on who they are and how they got involved with LifeVantage, but then also on their biggest takeaway and a tip that they have for each one of you. So we're going to go ahead and start here with Premier Pro 6 Sarah Smith and Premier Pro 5 Cynthia Greenawalt, who are actually up in Park City, Utah right now with one of their VIP people that they brought into this event as well. So Sarah and Cynthia, can you hear us?
Yes, we can. Cynthia's kind of right behind me, so she'll probably be coming in right when I'm finishing up. But thanks, everyone. It's great to be here. Thanks for having us on. Really appreciate the chance to share because it's been such an amazing day. So for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Sarah Smith. I'm a Pro 6 out of Maine, Auburn, Maine. And I've been allied with LifeVantage now for 7 years. And my husband and I were introduced to this opportunity really from a product standpoint in the very beginning. We were healing from Lyme disease. We were looking for something outside of traditional pharmaceuticals. And this was put into our lap by a nurse practitioner. She said, this is the real deal. Check out the science. And as soon as I saw the news report, I knew we had to start taking the products. So shortly after that, we were noticing results. Brain fog was dissipating. We had, the migrating pains and things like that dissipated. We had sustained energy. So our overall health started to shift immediately. And as that happened, we began to look deeper into the opportunity to create and diversify our income. So fast forward 7 years, we've replaced an income. Our lives couldn't be brighter right now, looking into the future and how we can really impact the world, setting people free financially and, just adding to people's health. So that's just a snippet of my story. And so today, one of my biggest takeaways Honestly, there were so many. I have pages of notes right now that I've been just sort of reviewing. But what really struck me is that Taylor Warray, he's the son of Eric Warray. For those of you that are watching this and are new to the industry, Eric Warray is like the Geneva, Switzerland of trainers in the network marketing space. So his background and the level of ethical, moral, kind of the systems he has in place are really just this great compilation of industry standard in training. And so he's phenomenal. So the fact that his son Taylor is with our company running and rolling out this red carpet program, he today broke down the 5 things he was looking for. Now, he was flown into over 20 different companies. People were headhunting him to be part of their company. 1, because of the name. 2, because he's an exceptional leader, in his own right. And he's just, a bundle of energy. For those of you that have spent any time with him, he's just like electric, right? So he broke down his 5 things that he was looking for in the companies that he was looking at as he was figuring out where he needed to land. And he knew that, his name being tied to it, these 5 things needed to be in place. And so we asked him, like, why did, are these 5 things that, industry professionals look at? And he said, no, this is what I came up with that I was looking at because I looked at so many different opportunities. The first one being product strength. The company had to have a good product. The second one was corporate structure. The third one was field culture. The fourth one was the opportunity itself. And the 5th one was the timing. And so we said, all of these are, check boxes that, LifeVantage just fit the bill and really, it was the place to be. So, so to me, just looking at that and hearing him say that, it was like a huge takeaway. It just, really solidified. I mean, I have bulletproof belief anyway, being in 7 years and, being around top leadership. But the fact that out of all the network marketing companies out there, he landed with us. And these 5 things are like all in place, if you had any doubt. So that was one of my biggest takeaways. And a tip for red carpet, inviting people to the red carpet. My tip is, if you don't have a relationship with them, you need to develop one. They need to know that you are invested in adding value to their life and to the relationship outside of the value you think LifeVantage has for them, and really develop that. So when I invited Cynthia Greenawalt, who you're going to hear from next, when I invited her, I really was inviting her to take a look at something that I was showing to someone she was referring. It was a very much an indirect approach that I wasn't even necessarily inviting her straight on. I had her take a look and she saw it, right away. But in the meantime, she trusted me because we were working together in other arenas and we were developing our relationship that way. So my tip for you is, if you don't know that red carpet person, develop the relationship and add value right out of the gate. So I'm going to hand it back to you, Marcy and Dondi, and then I'll let Cynthia slip in here. Thank you.
Awesome. That was wonderful, Sarah. Thank you. Thank you so much. I agree. I loved the way that Taylor spoke about those 4 or 5 things and how he evaluated and did his due diligence, making sure that everything was in place. So thank you so much, Sarah.
Yeah, it was really important to hear Taylor say why those 5. And that they were not anyone else's criteria but his own. But a company, whatever the company he went with, had to have at least 4 of those 5. And he wasn't even thinking that there might be a company that had all of the 5. And when he found here at LifeVantage, it became a list of 1. And even though companies were offering him more money and all kinds of deals, he said it's better to have all 5 and never compromise principles than go to a company that may be missing 1 for twice the salary. And that was really, really special to hear somebody like Taylor, who Sarah obviously told you who he is and why it's important, for him to say, no, LifeVantage is going to be my home. And he didn't even share the story, but also his mother and his grandparents are all distributors here. So it's pretty powerful too. So Yes, you introduced Cynthia.
Yeah.
This is
Oh, well,
exciting.
you know what? And we're going to really let Cynthia share her really 1-minute story here, which is going to be difficult for her to do. But Cynthia Greenawalt, I got to tell you, sweetheart, you are just
Who's
just
who.
and such a breath of fresh air too. We just enjoy you so much, and we learn from you as well. So we'd just really like to welcome Cynthia Greenawalt to the call, and just kind of let you take it away, Cynthia. Share your story, and really your greatest takeaway today, and your tip for inviting to the red carpet event.
That's really great. How's my sound? Do I sound okay?
You're perfect.
You're
great.
Okay, great. My story. Okay, so I come from an interesting traditional background. My family we're all traditional in that we're all entrepreneurs in the traditional sense, S quadrant. If you're familiar with Robert Kiyosaki, those of you listening here, and if not, go get his book, Cash Flow Quadrant. So that's one of my favorite things is the cash flow quadrant. So I have parents that were S quadrant, which is small business owners. They're specialists. They worked their tails off. I was lucky they made a lot of money as S's, but they were never free. They just worked all the time. So I followed in their footsteps. I got an Ivy League education, then started my own business by the time I was, I think, 27. And I found network marketing pretty early on in my late 20s. Had a great success with a new invention, but there was a privately held company that didn't tell us the truth. And so we didn't really know they were struggling behind the scenes. And that huge team I built just came crashing down. I tried it 2 more times, built some big teams, but there was always some kind of snafu at the level of a privately held company. So I didn't think I'd ever do it again. So I was doing what I'm great at, which is consulting and training. I deal in the area of breakthrough thinking and peak performance and inspiring people to access the power of their collaborative relationships. And I had a lot of clients in network marketing that I've been consulting and coaching. So when Sarah asked me to take a look at this, all I could think was like, I can't do network marketing. I have too many clients in network marketing. I have to remain completely neutral. I can't be picking a team. So I was actually pretty terrified by the idea of getting into network marketing. I thought it would make me like basically lose a good chunk of my business. But then I looked anyway, got on a plane, came to red carpet, and it was just the opportunity for me to think, wow, this is 10 times bigger than what I could have done just launching my online learning. Let me build residual income, and then I can still run with my online learning model. So it was kind of like I can have it all. So that's what happened to me. So red carpet blew my mind when I came a year and 4 months ago. So that's how I got here. So how do I invite people? So I've had the good fortune of inviting, I don't know, 4 or 5 people who come through red carpet. And this time around was interesting. I had a number of people that couldn't make it because of their schedules, but were so on the edge of their seat that I realized something has changed in my music or my posture. So I think that's a big part of it, is just believing how amazing not only what I have is, but like amazing that I am. Like we have to remember that we're amazing. So I called someone who's way out of my league, made way more money in network marketing than I ever did. So I really felt like I was calling kind of like a big shot, but I was just like, I got this. And so I had to kind of pump myself up, get cleared by Sarah. I called this guy, and all of them, I said the same thing. I said, hey, so I left a message. I'm putting together a summit of thought leaders. Call me back. That's pretty much what I said. So it started there, and then I would tell them what it was. And it was amazing and one of them said, I can't be there. And something has changed in you, Cynthia, in the 10 years since we last talked. Because some people I was calling was 10 years. So it was an amazing thing. They're like, and then I would describe the Thought Leader Summit. Like, this is a handful of people sitting in a boardroom, looking at this conversation. And then I, explained it. And so I had 4 wanting to come and 2 made it. So and I called 15. So it's the same funnel thing. And then my best takeaway, my being there, it was actually 2 things. One is what came out of the mouths of the presenters, out of our leaders, came out of the mouth of Ryan Goodwin. I mean, it was so interesting. I've known him, since my first red carpet trip, but I knew his work from way long ago, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, he developed a website with a company where I was. So I knew his work just indirectly. I was like, that was you? So I have a lot of respect for him. And he just sat there talking about, what he's doing as a biohacker. When he said the book called The 14 Symptoms of Chronic Inflammation, or the book called Headstrong by Asprey, that has the 14 symptoms of chronic inflammation. And the bottom line is all these symptoms, we all thought it was age related. He's like, no, it has nothing to do with aging and has everything to do with chronic inflammation. So he just sort of says, hey, I'm committed to being a biohacker. I'm looking at what it's going to take to live to 150, 180 years old. So even Ryan's posturing about being a biohacker really lit me up. Like just the way he says, this is the path we're all on, and really honoring the conversation, and kind of ask if they don't know what biohacking is, ask that. And do you know what oxidative stress is? He said, and if they say no, do you know about antioxidants? And they go, yeah. Well, what do you know about antioxidants? They're good for me. He says, just kind of get into people's listening and engage them inside this commitment that we're all having around biohacking as a movement. So it just, I don't know, it just kind of got me psyched the way he said it. And just like, I'm like, yeah, 180. Okay, let's go for that. All right, so that's pretty much it. I think, did I cover my points, the 3 things?
You did a great job, seriously.
Right.
And you know what I just love is what you said about your posture has changed. And I would say that is going to be, one of the biggest tips and things for people to take truly into themselves, that it's your posture. Just like when we're sharing this with a regular person, we're not talking about a red carpet experience, right? Our posture is everything, and belief in what we have. Go ahead, Cynthia.
And I knew there was something loose end, which is I got 2 things out of being here. So one was from the corporate, and the other was from my actual red carpet guest. He and I have known each other almost 20 years. He's the one from Scotland. And what happened, probably the most moving experience, was when he summed it up. He's been a businessman in so many different arenas. He said, I've never experienced a day like this in my life. And he's probably late 60s, just as a guess, approximate age. And I just sat there like, tears were coming to my eyes. I was so grateful that I took a stand for him. That was a year of inviting. A couple different times I've invited him. He doesn't even remember the last one, right? The first one. So I realized that's what this is. My willing, like what I got was who we are when we, in a professional, reverent-like way, invite them. I was never pushy. I said, I just want you to see this to make sure. And he was so grateful that, like, that's the point of the red carpet, is these guys do such an extraordinary job painting a vision. And we were walking through the hall during the break, and Gavin said, he's like, I didn't expect it to be this good. So that was my favorite moment. Yeah.
That is so good. Is there anything that you want to say for follow-up on that before we...
I just said, just like Cynthia said, just the ongoing process is that you're holding space for this person, whether they see it or not, and take a gamble, they get here, and then their experiences or their feedback in my entire life, I've never felt a day like this. That's priceless.
Yes. Absolutely. So ladies, we know that you have, things to go do. We appreciate you, and drive safe up there. Okay. We'll see you in the morning.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
So we are so excited to move on here to the sister duo. If you ask them, they are one and the same, right? So I had the privilege of being up here last week with them for red carpet for one of their amazing VIPs. So we're going to be hearing now from Elite Pro 7, Kim Jacques, and then we'll be following her up with her sister, Premier Pro 5, Chelsea Fournier. So Kim, can you please join us?
Yeah, can you hear me all right?
Yes,
beautifully, and you look fabulous.
Okay, so, my background is pretty simple. I'm a hardworking, motivated lady who's misguided into believing that hard work alone would help me achieve my goals. I think a lot of us are in that same boat, right? I acquired a really great job, but it turns out that, the income cap and the time cap of being able to have time flexibility really didn't match up with my lifestyle goals. And I was tricked into thinking that becoming a small business owner was going to be the solution. It turns out that providing for my family alone is a lot less stressful than providing for the families of 30 employees and all of the pressures associated with that. And when you are the boss, you have nobody to ask for time off. So there was actually less time off. And I really realized in one moment how out of balance my life had become when I was sitting in my kitchen and my son was in 7th grade and he was trying to explain to me how he was struggling with a pretty severe case of bullying. And I literally was sitting there listening to him with half of my brain and the other half realizing that if I didn't get out that door, our family financial security and the financial security of all of the 30 other employees was in jeopardy because I had to make that meeting. And I looked at him and I said, you have to deal with this yourself. I don't have time. And it was really in that moment that I realized that things had to change. And my dear friend Sarah had introduced me to network marketing, which I was absolutely opposed to. But I opened up my mind and realized that the things that I had applied my work ethic to hadn't been the solution, and that network marketing might be that. So I looked at the simple system that needed to be followed in order to create a leveraged income, and realized that I could apply, even if I screwed it up for 5 to 10 years, that the simple system would allow for me to create the end goal that I was seeking, which was being able to be a better, more present parent, a better, more present wife, being able to be a better, more present community member, and honestly, to be more present with myself. And so I did. I opened it up and followed the system, and voila, here we are, Pro 7. And it really was simple steps. And so that's what I really want to highlight. You know, when we brought our amazing guest, amazing, like I am blessed to know this man, guest to the red carpet treatment. You know, what I really took away from this whole experience was really starting from the first moment that we introduced him. He came in no differently than any other guest, right? So many times people will say, oh my God, I know this doctor, or oh my God, I know this, you know, this super amazing, like superhero from the universe. What can I show this person? And, you know, what I'm here to say is that you show them step 1, step 2, and step 3, right? They need to know that there's a simple system. If you're a professional network marketer, one of the first things that professional network marketers ask me when I'm doing a one-on-one conversation is, what's your system, right? They don't want to come in and invent a system. They want to know there is a system. And so walking them through the simplicity of our system, you know, whether it's the ABC investigative report or, you know, the theories of aging, the presentation that corporate put together, whatever it is, your step 1, step 2, step 3, you know, information about product, information about the business, and then tools and team. So how do you introduce them to team? Just pointing it out along the way. This is what we do for step 1. This is what we do for step 2. This is what we do for step 3. By the way, do you want to come to one of our team calls? Because you can see how we train. By the way, do you want to go into one of our Facebook groups so you can see what we're going to use? So what I'm here to tell you is that you are enough. The system is enough. And corporate makes it so that it is, how do I put this? They are if I could sing, I would be Bette Midler right now. You are the wind beneath my wings. That is what this whole experience is all about. So even if you are brand new to network marketing, like really I am, you're able to use the system to bring them to this event. And corporate has created the most exquisite, mindfully produced, honoring, just amazing program, so that they are saying to us, we got your back. Guess what? When this person signs on, they'll be able to talk to one of the field development leaders once a week so that they can educate them about how to maximize their compensation plan. Guess what? Corporate will fly out when they have a big event to be able to help to train team members. So like they literally have created an exceptional organizational support for the first 6 months. Taylor said, I know that the first 6 months of your growing a huge organization is going to be the hardest 6 months. So we want you to lean into us. We want you to have access to Kelly Rich. We want to send out product on your behalf to your key leaders that you want to promote to. Basically, they're saying, Kim, it's okay that you are not a complete expert yet in all areas of leading a major organization, which, you know, I'm not shabby, but, you know, I'm not the top of the universe either. let us fill in the blanks for you. Okay. So I guess what I'm here to tell you is, well, the first words were I can't say because it's kind of swearing, so I won't say that. Grow your vision. Like, let your vision be huge. And when you're talking to people in your life and they're saying, no, this isn't for me, be confident in saying, thank you for telling me that. Now, do you mind if I create the vision of the person I really want to attract? Because it might be somebody that you know. Like, go for the referral of somebody that you know who knows somebody who knows somebody. There's millions of network marketers in the United States alone. You know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. So paint the vision confidently, knowing that you have a simple system, and you can simply say, I'm looking for a professional network marketer who is looking for something new. They have these skill sets. Like, be very specific. Don't be shy away from that and say to yourself, well, what about, like, do you know somebody who doesn't know anything about network marketing who might be motivated? Great, that's perfect, that's good. But why not shoot for the stars if you're going to be bold enough to ask for a referral? Why not simply ask for exactly what you're looking for? Because corporate has got your back, and in a really big way. So that's what I would say.
I'm almost speechless. That was like the perfect definition and explanation of what we've witnessed today.
Yes.
And what we heard being professed from Darren, from our president and CEO, from Ryan Goodwin, our chief marketing officer, from Justin Rose, our chief sales officer, from Dr. Brian Dixon, our chief of VI. He is the guru
VP
on
of
product
R&D.
research and new product development. They all said the same thing. And it's what Kim said in a nutshell. We are here for you. We'll fill in the blanks. We got your back. Bring us your people.
Yes.
And when the people arrive and they say that's the most powerful thing I've ever experienced, it's a win-win-win situation. And like Kim said, it's hard to say it without swearing. Just show up and bring people, and just change your posture, like they've all been saying, and people will come, because everybody's looking for this. And Taylor kind of defined it, that if you had one go at it, what would it be like? And there's so many people that only want to do this one time, and this is the sweet spot for all of that. So thank you, Kim.
And how many people are out there who have poured their heart, their dreams, their sweat, their passion into network marketing, only to find that the company that they chose, to no fault of their own, was not the right company, that either it closed or it transformed itself. Like, people who believe in network marketing deserve to be introduced to LifeVantage.
Yes. So true.
Absolutely. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Kim.
That was
Seriously,
masterful.
that was a blessing for sure. All right, so let's pass it over to your amazing sister, Premier Pro 5, Chelsea Fournier. Chelsea, can you please come on and share us? Oh my gosh, you have got quite this story just getting to this red carpet event. So can you please share your story?
Oh my goodness. I absolutely will. It was a commitment, and it was absolutely well worth it. For those of you that don't know, it was my first trip away from my now 11-week-old son. So emotions and pumping and getting myself there could not have been spent better. So my name is Chelsea Fournier. I'm a Premier Pro 5 based out of Wilmington, North Carolina. I launched this business almost 7 years ago when I was living in Maine. And when I was living in Maine, I was the poster child for selling out to the vision of go to school, get a good job. So I not only went to school, I continued to go to school, and ended up with a law degree at the end of that journey. And what I found was that the story, the vision that had been sold to me, actually didn't represent who I was. I've always been a creative. I've been an entrepreneur. I grew up in the dance world. I was a performer. And then all of a sudden I was sitting in a suit, in a desk, counting hours in 6-minute increments, and was like, whoa, hold the phone. What have I gotten myself into? I was really good at it. I think anyone with a good work ethic, you can be good at what you've trained to do. But what it was actually doing for me was manifesting my misalignment in so many of my choices for my life was actually manifesting in my health crumbling. So at the age of 28, when my sister Kim, who you just saw, shared with me some products that might absolutely help me, they did. And I got curious because I was the weird lawyer who knew I was out of alignment and was looking at the partners around me who were divorced, unhealthy, overweight, unhappy, and married to their work. And I was saying, WTF am I doing? And so I was actually the weird lawyer who at 8 p.m., 9 p.m., I was taking coaching classes. I was launching podcasts. I was reading like how to do a 4-hour work week, right? So I was in this space and then showing up in a suit. And what it was doing was causing me to have anxiety attacks so that I could not breathe. And at 28, that's kind of a problem. It's not a good path to be on. So not only did the products absolutely start to shift my health, and that was a huge upcycle, learning about this business started opening my eyes that I wasn't crazy to want something other than that story that had been sold to me. So I started network marketing with LifeVantage. This is my one and only home, and that actually ties into some of my takeaways because this has been my only exposure. I've only known an amazing upline. Thank you, Dundee and Marcy, and everybody who's been a part of launching our team. I've only known amazing products that only get better with studies. I've only known a compensation plan that when it changes, it pays me more in my check. It turns out my takeaway from the red carpet experience this time was that if this is not the only home you've ever known, if this is like me, the only home you've ever known, we are taking for granted how amazing of a company we have. I didn't know. We were hearing very valid, very transparent questions from our guest, who's extremely knowledgeable, not only in network marketing. He's very humble, but he has success in multiple industries and countries, actually, he and his family. And so to hear questions and them expecting bad news and the corporate very clearly explaining not only the clear answer that was good news for that question, but also like the 3-year strategy of why it's not going to change, right? So actually what I took away ties into something that Sharice Matthews shared in our cyber launch. In our cyber launch, at the very end, all of the presenters were giving a little snippet, and this has stuck with me. She said, when your identity is attached to this, to LifeVantage, when it is actually attached and enmeshed, you will actually do this. And what I experienced is that corporate is bought in. This is corporate's identity. Every employee that we spoke to, the consistency of messaging, the consistency of key results they're looking for, being in one meeting and having Fred ask a question of Taylor and then asking the same question of Darren. I saw what you were doing. You're looking for consistency. That's what I would do too. And the consistent message was so supportive, and I've never felt more in alignment, right? That's what I was trying to move away from. I've never felt more in alignment with a group of individuals and the vision than I have during that day. And the other thing is that, many of us are new to network marketing in general. And so if you have the opportunity, if you anywhere in your downline down the road have the opportunity that a red carpet experience is happening, fly yourself out there. Go be present because it is an invaluable education. I came home with notes. I knew I was going to be the last one, so I'm a little bit off the cuff because I'm just going through my notes because there was so much to take away from this. And as far as thinking about inviting for this type of event, I didn't really know. It felt mysterious to me. Even the first time I went, I remember Kim and I were looking at each other in the boardroom and we were like, what is happening? Like, we didn't really know. We knew it was exciting. But what's really fantastic is that what happens when a guest comes in through the red carpet, they are still going to enroll with a gold pack, a platinum pack, whatever pack they're going to have. But then, there's things that are offered to them to help them achieve what the company believes is their potential because of their track history, their track record, right? So there's things like Kim said, field development, access day one to resources that you don't necessarily get until you progress further in the compensation plan as a quote unquote normal person, right? Comp plan support. Maybe you are saying, I don't know if I want to invite someone because they're going to ask me all these complicated questions. I'm not going to know how to help them maximize the comp plan. Like, this is bigger than anything I've done. Corporate has your back. They're going to get weekly calls from people to help them maximize the compensation plan. Because if they're enrolling 100 people, well, let's help them figure out how to place that and get that organization strong and ready for advancement. they're offered product swag and event support. So if you have someone who's coming in and launching a red carpet business, they're going to be able to have hotel events. They're going to have product flown into them so that they can have really great events. So it's not going to be an investment financially for you to have this happen. I know sometimes there can be that limiting belief of like, oh my gosh, this is a really big deal. Am I enough? Do I have enough resources? And something that I actually did, and I encouraged everybody in my team that was going out to this event, is I actually re-listened to a book by Gay Hendricks called The Big Leap, and it's about limiting beliefs. Okay, so I think this is a really good book to revisit anytime there's something that's never happened to you before, a certain level of success that feels on the cusp, because I wanted to show up to this event clear and crisp and ready to absorb and be a positive energy and not a nervous Nelly. And if you're not familiar with The Big Leap, it talks about the upper limit problem, and that sometimes when big things are happening in one area of your life, energy will squelch down or cause issues or cause you to have self-sabotaging behaviors, and none of us want that. So if you're inviting people, if you're thinking about inviting people, as Sarah said, it's got to be about the relationships. It's also got to be about you. You know, are you in a mindset to be able to reach out to someone and have the posture? Are you willing to get a no? You know, but I'll be honest with the guest that came out. Here's what happened. Here's how this chain of events happened. 4 years ago, I invested in being a part of a mastermind that was over my head. It was with top earners, and it was a big investment, and it was nerve-wracking. But through that mastermind, I met a gentleman who's wildly successful in network marketing. At one point, I interviewed him on Facebook. I was not friends with the amazing Sean Brandt, who's on here, but when I did that interview, he was friends with the person I was interviewing. He saw me. We struck up a relationship, right? So Sean came into my life through Facebook and really through that investment I had made in myself. Now, Sean has been running buddies and business partners off and on with an amazing man by the name of Daniel. And Sean used steps 1, 2, 3, and kind of the Inspire Action Today 3-step exposure process with Daniel. He hopped onto a Zoom webinar that I think Kim was presenting. And right after Daniel had a gazillion questions, and Sean said, hey, Chelsea, can you hop on a Zoom and answer this guy's questions? So we started talking. And in that very first conversation, I said, Daniel, is there anyone that comes to mind that you just think you would love to do this with? And he said, Fred, this guy Fred. I don't know who Fred is, right? And so I'm like, okay, start jotting down these names. Who are these people? Who would you like to run with? Who do you think deserves to see this? Who do you really respect? We started brainstorming names on that call. They started asking about how the comp plan works. I was like, no, focus on the names. And out of that, he reached out to Fred. Fred happens to be an amazing, heart-centered, humble leader who's going to be an amazing addition to the fabric of our culture, not only in the team or teams broader, but of the company. And if I can just trace it back to a yes I made in investing for myself, that was probably a bad idea in the moment, but actually it helped to grow my network of thought leaders in this industry. And so just think, just because you might be getting a no now, or it's just about the relationships, you're getting a yes from someone who's gonna know someone who's gonna know someone, even if it's not you, this resource is there for you. And if you are thinking about talking to people, here's the question I ask. I think about who in my network who looks successful, even if I don't know. I'm not like, hey, do you make 6 figures, want to fly into corporate? Like, that's super weird. No, what I'm asking is, I see that you're in network marketing. How are things going? Are you happy? Do you see yourself in the company you're with 5 years from now? Do you enjoy being on stage and representing everything about that company? So like, ask questions about, are they happy? Because once someone has reached the level of success of a 6-figure income in network marketing, that is no small feat, as many of us know. And so once they've achieved that, they typically, a person at that level in this business will know that they could go somewhere else and be successful. Just like I knew I could be a lawyer in one law firm versus another law firm, I was still going to be darn good at it. But what a lot of people who might be in that position are looking for is, do they feel good inviting people into the team they're in currently? And there might be something shaky. It might be the comp plan changed for the worse instead of our experience. It might be the company was bought out and they disagree with the new leadership's vision. There might be a chink in the armor of what they were having for confidence. And if there is that chink, maybe they're just willing to talk. And that's going to be what it is. Someone who's successful might be willing to say, you know what, maybe I could take my talents elsewhere if it was the right fit. But if they're happy and they're talking about how excited they are, gosh darn it, don't pound them into the sand about why they need to come to this event. Build the relationship and, send them things of value from time to time. As Sarah said, maybe you hear a great podcast. Maybe you read a really great blog on network marketing. Send that to them. Cheer them on, like their live videos. Build a relationship, because over time there might be that chink in the armor, and the red carpet program's not going anywhere. LifeVantage isn't going anywhere. And hopefully you're not going anywhere, so you'll still be in the position to be able to invite them to this amazing experience and opportunity. So that was off the cuff because everybody else said what I was going to say. So I hope that was of value. That it was an amazing experience, and I look forward to doing it over and over and over again with our team.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to stop
So
this share
powerful.
here. Oh my gosh, ladies, you are phenomenal. Thank you all so very much. Sarah, Cynthia, Kim, Chelsea. I just want to say something really quick here before we sign off, is that, our company is determined to not just go to $1 billion mark, but to be the standard of the industry. We want to be the very best, which means we are going to do everything the right way. Darren Jensen said that we do not want to be the fastest growing company, but what we do want is to be the most respected company. And then I just want to close out here with a quote that Taylor shared last week when we were out there. And he says, we have to teach people to trade their expectations for appreciation. And we have to remember how appreciative we need to be to have what we have. And we can't keep it to ourselves. And if we're letting fear keep us from inviting people, we need to understand that all fear is expectation. And so if we just remove the expectations off of inviting someone to see this amazing information, we will be removing the fear around it. So that's our challenge for each and every one of you. Remove your expectations. Remember and be grateful for this amazing opportunity, these products, this corporate executive team, and everyone else that supports us at the corporate function and structure. And just invite. Take advantage of this red carpet experience, and you will not ever regret it, and you will gain so much from it. So
yeah, it was one of the things that I really grasped today, and I think it was solidified for the first time in my almost 11-year experience here at LifeVantage, is when you look at the corporate executives person to person to person, what you truly have is industry leaders and VIPs in their own right, in their individual roles and responsibilities that they have here at LifeVantage, but it's also a family culture. It's not like the first time they allowed professional players to be on the Olympic team, where you had all these all-stars and they got beat by countries you've never heard of before and didn't even medal. Because it's not about the talents of the individuals, it's about the talents of the individuals and how they relate as a family collective and as a community. And everybody here at LifeVantage on the corporate side loves being here. And when we found out, and this is something I had heard, but I really didn't grasp it until today, that LifeVantage Corporation has been for 3 years in a row voted the best place to work in Utah. And it's you can feel that when the people at the home office love what they do and the field leaders love what they do, you put that together with products like we have, and it's the anomaly in the industry and the history of the industry. And when Darren said we want to be the most respected company, I think we've got the recipe for success. We just need to all continue doing what we're doing, and the world will soon enough know what we are, who we are, what we're about. And thank you, ladies, for your wonderful leadership and your contribution to tonight's call. This was absolutely fantastic, as each of you are.
yes, and so guys, remember tomorrow night, Tuesday, which means there's always a live opportunity overview for you to be inviting to. That's how we build this business, right? Is by inviting to see the information. We'll actually be doing that live from corporate offices here in Salt Lake City tomorrow night before we hop on our plane to fly home. So please join us. You will be getting all the information sent to you via email or on one of the Facebook pages. So we hope that you all take advantage of this. And again, thank you guys so much for participating in tonight's call. This is going to be one that is rewatched over and over and over again because of the value you guys brought. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Appreciate all of you. God bless.